said about it, guys, every day, when you had him, no surprise to you, he's going to see this game with 9 points in 6 games. Can you speak to what it is that makes him who he is and how he brings that every game, even at how such a
Well, he's just drivetrain. I mean, that's what separated him all the time. Obviously, he had great skill and great vision and elite puck protector, but him every day. And, Nick Cronwell, obviously time catches up to everybody. Nick Cronwell, to me, is the same. He did it right every single day. And so when you have the people at the top of your organization doing it like that, I think it's a great example. And sometimes it doesn't show right away. But if you think Mantha doesn't see that, or Larkin doesn't see that, or any of their other young players, they see it. They watch it. They see him train, and they understand how competitive he is when the game's on the line. And the other thing is, when things go bad in the game, he goes and makes a play. So it's not what you say, it's what you do in the big moments. And that's why he's got a cup and a Conn Smythe and all those things.
Mike, the Red Wing streak isn't necessarily over, but it's in trouble. Do people understand how hard it is in today's NHL to make the playoffs 25 straight through?
Well, no one understands. I mean, because they're not living it every day. And so, just think about what they've been able to do. But what happens is right away is you want to go from that to a bunch of young kids and going again. It doesn't happen like that. That's the problem. So Ken Holland and Mr. Illich and those people have done an unbelievable job over a long period of time of maxing out the resources they had. So I think I went there in 2005. At that time, they were supposed to be going into the tank. And then the next 10 years, they proceeded to make the playoffs every year, and they were the only team, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to do that. So since that lockout, that's what they've been able to do. But there's points in their time that it catches up to you.
Mike, what have you taken personally from that organization and the examples, and any particular lesson that you've carried with you?
Well, way too many to talk about here. Part of who you are, obviously, just because I can remember individual meetings with Shanahan and Lidstrom and Draper and different people over the years that just made you think about things differently. And so Steve Yzerman, I got to work with for a number of different events. Dominic Hasek, the way he approached the game. Chris Chelios, in his way of going about his business. There's so many great players that taught you so many different things. Now when it comes to mind, that maybe the thing that I learned the most there, when I arrived, I thought you had to be ready for the game at 9 in the morning. I didn't know that if you were ready for the game and wore yourself out all day, you had no energy at night. So what I learned from the best players was they could be watching their son play on TV 3 minutes before the drop of the puck and be ready to go when the puck was dropped. How's that?
That's transferable?
I think it is, but I think when you're a kid, I think it's a little bit different. But when you're a man, I think it's different.
Mike Morgan, Riley was talking about wanting to be better defensively moving forward here. When you look at his game, where can you take that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is he's like a lot of us is when you got a real swagger about your game and you're playing real fast and things are going real good, you don't think about anything. You're just doing what you do. I think he's probably got himself thinking a little bit, just steady on the rudder here. Do what you do, understand the details, and the structure protects the individual, and do all those things and get prepared. But let's be loose and driving at game time and have some fun.
Have you seen guys tighten up a little bit as these games get tighter as the league?
I don't think we've been as good lately. So why is that? I think you got to give credit to other teams too. We're playing real teams that are playing against us for real points, and so I think that's part of it. But I also think when it goes not as good for you, and especially when you don't have the kind of experience, I guarantee you, all the guys who played 20 years and scored a ton of goals, went through 20-game stretches all the time, wondering if they're going to score again. Happens over and over again. Steady on the rudder, keep grinding, do good things happen.
What are some of the key things you're hoping your team learns down the stretch of these critical games?
Well, you're talking about down the stretch, and you're talking about as we go ahead. We have 18 games. Our guys know that to play our way in, but we have a game today, and really, to be honest with you, that's all that really matters. Let's get prepared. We're going to have a nice meal here in a second. We're going to go home and have a nice nap. We're going to come back. We know where we're playing. We're going to be prepared. Now let's get out and play.
Lineup changes?
Coach, gonna use the same lineup as Anaheim?
I'm gonna, yes, I think so.
Mike, when it comes to closing games right now, what are your young guys learning, or what are you trying to teach them of what it takes to close games?
Well, I think when you start the game, you don't know what shift's going to turn the game. So is that the first shift? You know, I was watching TV last night. A couple teams were down 2-0 right away. So you spent your whole day, you had a nice meal, had a nice nap, did everything, and how did you get down 2-0 in 5 minutes in the game, and you chased the game all night? So you don't know which shift it's going to be. Is it going to be the last one with 1:20 left where they shoot it in your net and cost you the game? Is it going to be the first shift of a second or third period when you took a penalty at the end because you didn't get off the ice on time and boom, they stuck it in your net? So you don't know what shift's going to turn the game, so be ready for your shift. Play one, come back, take a deep breath, a little drink of water, and get ready for the next one.